Hello, Carm 3D on the tube. Where else would I be, really, when you think about it? Alright, another video on rigging. This time we're going to get real complicated. We're going to get into pole vectors. And I tell you what, I'm just going to obliterate this entire arm. There we go. Let's add his child bone. Going to go into wireframe mode because I'm going to be using excuse me, tip move. Okay, that was interesting. This is a little tool to let you specify where the bone will end up. It's just a good way to eyeball it. You have to be in a wireframe for this. Okie dokie. Now, I'm going to add a null. I'm going to parent that to the arm pole I just added. And I don't know where it went, so I'm just going to zero out its position and rotation. I'm going to move it down here around the elbow. Let's see if I can remember how to do this. I think I want to go upwards. Okay. This is going to be complicated, but this is pole vectors for you. And I'm sure there are different ways of doing pole vectors, but this is the way I learned. I'm choosing the local coordinate system so that when I rotate this on the bank, yeah, I did it right. That's the one I want, where the little arrow is. So that's in the up Y direction. I think I'm going to make this null a little brighter so I can see it. Okay. I think that's pretty good. Set a keyframe there. And I'm also going to set my resting there. I forget what you call that. I'll just show it to you. Record pivot rotation. There we go. Now you can see the rotation is set 0, 0, 0. Now, this is going to get weird here. I warned you. I'm going to say add a child bone. Call this arm upper. So, of course, the bone shows up at the end of the other bone, but I want this bone to be starting where its parent starts. So now they're right on top of each other. I'm going to rotate on the pitch. Right about there. In a little bit further. Okay. set a keyframe on the pitch. I'm going to choose the rest length. Remember, this rest length, this is kind of a, I think it only relates to these kinds of bones. The joints don't really deal with rest length. They always get their length from the distance of its next child in the hierarchy, as you've seen already. Okay. Add a child for this guy. Arm lower. Now, I'm going to try my best to get this bone to reach where the other bone reaches. This will make sense in a few minutes. That's pretty good. And we'll say this will be the hand. Although I'm going to have to change up its rotation. Hang on a tick. Local, that's what I want. Okay. And then we'll do the same thing here. I believe it's Shift P. Yep. Shift P. Okay. Let's go back to parent mode. Setting the coordinate system to parent mode is good. Sometimes you need to go to local or world to do some certain things, but this is where you want to be most of the time, because this tells you how your rotation rings are going to be affected by its parent bone. You know, the whole gimbal lock thing. Okie dokie. This guy doesn't need to be so long. Now, this bone, the pole bone, does not need any strength. The only bones that I want to affect the geometry are the two arm bones and the hand bone. Let's see here. I'm going to take this hand bone here, turn off parent in place. I want to parent him. Oh, here he is. Hand left. Ah. I'll parent him to the hand. Okay. And zero out his position and rotation. Very good. And then put him back on the mover bone where he was. So essentially I've just aligned him with the hand, so we know that the hand can line up with this null and it won't change. Oh yes, one thing I want to do before I do anything else is pick all these guys, hit my R key to rest them, and activate them. Alright, so let's see what we got here. These two bones are only going to rotate on the pitch. Son of a gun. Got my keyframes on, automatic keyframes. I don't know why that defaults to on. I never like it on. Okay. And then this bone will rotate around like that, and of course rotate like that for the elbow. Okay, now this guy, you remember him? Our little elbow helper. I'm going to go to local coordinates, move him out here. Oh, what's going on here? Oh, I must have the bone selected. I want that null. I want that null. Alright, if you can be that way. Pick you that way. Just going to move him further out. And he will also be parented to the mover. Oh, shucks. I should have had parent in place back on. I turned it off. Okay, he's back. Parent in place. Mover. Okay, good. So, I lost my null over here. What happened? Where did he go? Alright, I think it was a parent in place issue. I should have turned that back on. Of course I have parent in place on now, so gotta do all this over again. Okay, parent in place, on, you, go back to the mover. There we go. Okay, so this guy, oops. Boy, I'm just having fun today. See, recently Lightwave got a new feature where you double click to switch from bones to objects. So sometimes I switch back and forth without realizing it, because it's kind of a new feature for me. Motion options. I want to tell our pole bone to target the hand IKL. Sorry, I had to scroll up the screen there to get that. So now, heading is point to target, pitch is point to target. They're both pointing at this green box, the center of it. The bank controller, I want align to pole. And we indicate the... No, we don't indicate it here, we over here. Sorry, it's been a while since I've done this. I usually use that trick I showed you in the previous video, because it's a lot easier to set up. Arm pole. Let's see if that works. Somehow I don't think it's working. Nope. Oh, here it is, pole. Okay, we don't need anything here. Yeah. There we go. Now, this guy I want to be unaffected by inverse kinematics of descendants. So the arm branching off of here will be an IK chain, and it will culminate into this guy here. We'll be reaching for the goal, which will be the hand IK, the little green box. And also hand IK, the green box, will be the rotation orienter guy. Same as item, same as item, same as item. And then here, pitch, inverse kinematics for both of these. Both of these arms are inverse kinematics, but they're pitch only. So now when I pick this thing, we should see the magic happen. Maybe not. I think what happened is inverse kinematics was turned off for when I used that one tool. Yep, there it is, enable IK. Yep. So now we have a rock solid, albeit slightly complex bone. Hey, oh, that's okay. Yeah, it went and did that because it hyperextended. So, yep, there we go. Pull vectors. I can't select this because the box is in the way. There we go. And then do that thing. Of course, this bone here, this bone has served its purpose. We can hide it now. I did it again. Okay. Now, it's interesting to note that when you do this, you lose. Let me switch this to a lower res so you can see it easier. Okay. You don't have any ability to twist on here. The shoulder follows right along with the rest of the upper arm. So there's ways around that. Now I'm going to first of all mention that I believe, and I say I believe because I believe that joints have a built-in twist function that will fix just this sort of problem. But these kinds of bones don't. So one thing you could do is add another layer of another bone right here that will do the twisting. It would be separate from this whole structure. Have it branching right off of the clavicle. Tell it to point to a null that we stick on the elbow, and then using various tricks to have like maybe we could split it into 3 ways. First third would not follow the pole. The second one would follow the pole maybe halfway, and then we can do a third where it's following it fully. So you can get really complicated with this stuff if you want to. And sometimes you need to if you want it to look really good. Again, the other way I showed you earlier, it's a little less conventional, but it's a lot easier to set up. And probably not a lot of this will apply to Cinema 4D. We will find out because we'll be digging into the Cinema 4D way of doing things very shortly. I'm just showing you different tricks, different techniques. And oh yes, I want to show you one other thing before I go, because this is pretty cool. You need to know this. This guy here and gimbal lock. Watch this. When we rotate down here, it doesn't take long to get to gimbal lock, so let's see how we can fix that. I'm going to add another null. We'll call this guy wrist left. Okay, parent in place I just turned off. Put him right there. And I'm going to change his look a little bit. Make an item shape a ring, a smaller ring, on the z-axis. There we go, good. A little smaller. Okay, and now this bone, instead of looking at the hand, I want him to look at that wrist I just added. Did that just screw up? It might have. Well, we'll find out. Oh, I think... I'm looking at the rotation. It says it's 0, but it's clearly not lined up with the box. So I don't know what's going on there. But I just kind of sort of brought it back. So anyway, I'm going to only rotate this on the bank. And what that lets me do is, when I'm animating with this guy, let's say on frame 20, we want to be down here, rotate. Hey now, come on. Give me some love here. Did I do this wrong? Guy hand. This is parented to this. Oh, I see what happened. No, that's the wrist. That's the bone. Oh, that's what's the problem. This is parented to the hand. I need that parented to the box. That's a problem, don't you think? Let's zero out his rotation and fix that. Parent in place is on. Okay. Sorry about that, everyone. Zero everything out there. Okay, now we should be ready. So let's say frame 20. I'm going to move this down. Rotate. Let's check this out over here. Yeah. So he's got his arm down there, and then on frame 40 he's going to be coming back here. Now I've hit the problem right here. Gimbal lock. Let's show you how we can show you how we fix that. I want his hand to be back here, but I can't because look at the way the rings are aligned. So I just rotate this, no, the heading, so that it's lined up the way we want. And now hand goes back. And actually, maybe this wasn't the best example, but let me back up here. Give the wrist guy a keyframe, bank only. Go to frame 40. I can have a separate control, which is not working. Damn it, I'm having the worst time with this. This really does work sometimes. It's just not working in front of your eyes. Oh, I don't know what the deal is here. Yeah, it's working, but I mean, it's working that way, but not when I twist it. Oh, that's why. I forgot to put same as Adam on the last guy. It's always something, you know? Okay, bank only. There we go. Now we're set. So it gives us that extra layer of bank rotation so that you can correct the box to rotate any way you need to, and then sometimes you'll need to compensate with this ring, this outer ring, the wrist twist null object that I gave it. So yeah, there you go. There's one way of doing pole vectors, and we will tuck in his elbow because it doesn't look good that way. Yeah. See you next video.